Hi everybody, it's Claire from Art Journal Love with another project for graphics. So I'm going to continue creating in the mixed media journal produced by Grafix, and I'm going to be working on the substrate, which is the opaque black Dura-Bright craft plastic. That's going to become a cutout page, and then I'm going to create a pocket page behind using some shrink plastic and playing a bit with the stencil film as well. So lots of different products to have a look at. So I'm starting off just drawing some circles onto my page. This is a tool that's quite useful. It's a circle maker. I got to the point where I was like, I'm just going to draw them myself. That works just as well. I wanted different sizes of circles on my page. So I've got my cutting mat underneath, and of course just using my craft knife to cut these circles out. Some of them are less perfect circles, but I don't mind that. That really doesn't bother me. A great way to use a knife to cut out circles like this is to actually turn your page rather than getting yourself twisted into lots of strange angles. So because I'd used a Stabilo all pencil to mark the plastic so I could see, I've then just wiped away the excess that was left. I'm then using a bit of watered down white acrylic paint on this text stamp to just bring a bit of interest to this background. Then because I've got that paint left over, I'm just adding some splatters as well. And then that just needs to be set aside a little while to dry. Didn't really take too long. And I went in with a white paint pen and just drew some more loose circles on there as well. So I was really liking how that was looking. So the idea of this cutout page is to give a peep through to the page behind. So here I'm cutting the clear Duralar, and I am just making that into a pocket with another piece of the black Dura-Bright craft plastic behind. I'm using a Tim Holtz tiny attacher to staple that together to create that little pocket. And then I'm going to start creating on some shrink plastic. So this is the clear shrink plastic. I've just popped that piece of paper underneath just to catch the excess. I'm just using some acrylic paints here. They're quite a heavy body acrylic paint. Now obviously because this is a shrink plastic, when I heat it it's going to shrink, so I did have to leave this to dry on its own. I've gone for nice bright rainbow colours. It's my jam. It's the colours that I love. So while that was drying, I decided I would make a couple of simple stencils. So this is the blue stencil film, also from Grafix. It's really, really easy to use. I decided I would cut it in half so that one piece would make two stencils. And then I was thinking, okay, how easy is it to cut with scissors? So I lightly folded it in half and had a go at cutting some heart shapes out into the plastic. Worked really, really easily. It was super easy to do. And I'm just adding lots and lots of hearts onto this substrate, some pointing one way, some pointing the other. I also had to go with the craft knife, and it was just as easy to cut with the craft knife as well, just showing me that it is really versatile. And you know, you could, like, the sky's the limit. You could design all sorts of stencils if you've got the time and the patience to cut them out yourself. You know, if you're wanting something really specific, this is a perfect substrate to have a play with. So once I'd created my stencils, I then decided to pop them onto the shrink plastic. So I'm using a really nice pale colour and just using a makeup sponge to apply through the stencil. You can see it's worked really, really well. I think I'm going to be making more stencils using this plastic from the blue stencil film, from Grafix. It's a very, very good substrate, and it doesn't split either when you are cutting it. Okay, so then I just wanted to make some kind of straight lines. It's super easy. I've folded it in half again, and I'm just cutting some kind of some slits into the plastic, the film rather, and then I'm just cutting those off. So that's just going to create those dashes into the stencil film so that I can then stencil through again. So I've gone for black as a contrast colour here, just to start adding those marks onto my shrink plastic. So you can see lots of different processes here, and I've already used 3 different products from Grafix. They just all work really well together. And I think these are going to make really fun tags using this shrink plastic, because obviously they're going to become a lot smaller. I just love it when making in mini is really fun, and when you start creating in your normal way and then you see it all shrunk down, it's so much fun to do. I've also added a little bit of text stamping and some white splatters too, because who doesn't love a splatter? And then that has to be set aside to dry, because obviously I can't heat dry it because it's all going to shrink. Then I cut them into the size tags that I wanted. You can see that's how the page was. Made them look a bit more like tags by punching a hole, edging them with black archival ink, and then just popping my heat tool on and shrinking them. So this can be a little bit unpredictable, but if you don't want that unpredictability, pop them in the oven. The instructions come on the packet for how to do this, but it does work even with these large pieces doing it like this. You can see I've got my ruler at the ready to kind of help flatten it. It did curl in on itself a little bit, but I was able to sort it out. Just be careful because it can get very hot. Obviously you're heating it up to shrink it, so be careful touching it. You don't want to burn yourself. But yeah, look how cool that is. I've made a little tag using the shrink plastic, and it's going to go in the pocket. So here are the 3 once they're done, and they're going to sit in there. So then I decorated them using some die cuts from Art by Marlene, popped a few on the pocket page as well, added some quotes and some pretty ribbon. And this was such a fun project to make. I also added a bit of white stamping and splatters to the background of the pocket page as well. So if you are interested in finding out more inspiration, you can head to the Grafix website, grafixarts.com, for more inspiration and look at their blog. Lots and lots of artists are doing fabulous jobs using their lovely products. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.